and plenty of LGBTQ plus Catholics who want to be fully part of the life and sacraments of the church.
Good morning.
The spokesperson issued a statement acknowledging the media storm that erupted in August.
Tilt that down just a little bit more. There we go. Learn about composting day. So there's that. What am I going to announce? What do we got? We'll talk about the best car show ever is back Saturday, June 1st. Oh.
Since the outbreak began in 2022, according to U.S. officials. Asian shares were mostly lower Wednesday after a mixed session on Wall Street. Most stocks fell on Thursday, trading Tuesday after falling. Nearly 3 out of every 4 stocks fell within the S&P, but strength for a handful of highly influential big tech helped the index hold up. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way. You're listening to America's First News. Good night.
She's real fine.
True. Difficult times have made us. We have to think about what matters most, which is our spending, our healthcare.
That's Fox Business Report.
MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch.
Put a pillow in your fridge day, by the way. Well, I should maybe put that as the title.
With healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up, MediShare can save you a lot of money. A typical family saves $500 a month. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second. If you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now, the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE.
I'm Dr. Mitch.
Yes. Yes. Actually,
I'm Dr. Mitch.
Dr. Mitch. And nitric oxide is a gas that's readily made all day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel walls. By doing this, our circulation is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. Both age and poor diet can lead to a loss of this precious gas, and in turn, blood pressure can go up, energy can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product ultimately...
Historians believe that pillows have been used by people to rest their heads while sleeping since 7000 BCE.
TotalWellness.com. That's TotalWellness.com. Where we're helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We are broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB in this station.
15 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:15 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Grass Valley. Currently 53 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 79 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report. What the heck is going on?
It can spread from person to person.
There's a major energy merger. ConocoPhillips will acquire Marathon Oil in an all-stock transaction. ConocoPhillips Chairman and CEO Brian Lance says the acquisition deepens its portfolio and fits within its financial frameworks. And Lance says the two companies share similar values and cultures. Merck is expanding its eye care business. The pharma giant is buying iBiotech in a deal that could be valued up to $3
Where do I go
billion.
back? 14,
Working on
15, 16, 17, 18.
shares are higher after its earnings tough forecast ended shares are gaining after reporting higher sales and announcing a stock buyback. That's your Fox Business Report. Ownership for someone invested in you.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
Save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more.
Everything in the store is on sale at HOA.
Shop and save big now on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Nature, you know, the building at the water wheel.
Tell them Brooklyn Open Orion sent you. Not able to tune into AM 950 whenever you want? That's not fair. Have a strict boss that only listens to music and never local news? He's not very informed then. But you knew that. Don't worry, you can get KAHI's up-to-the-minute news information and local advice from our talented KAHI news team anywhere you want now. Follow KAHI on Twitter or like KAHI on Facebook to receive local news updates multiple times a day.
So weird.
You can also download our KAHI radio app at KAHI.com and enjoy the voice of the foothills at AM 950 KAHI at any time, day or night.
Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the morning along with Matt Ray and
America's First News.
get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle.
Plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes.
Chris in the morning, Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM
104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early. 18 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:18 a.m. My goodness, it is early. Thank you, producer Adam, for cutting that little promo. Coming up in our next segment, sports ball. Also, we'll have, what do we got? We got sports ball and weather coming up next. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Good Wednesday, America's First News continues.
Okay, that was weird.
Donald Trump's attorneys and Manhattan prosecutors made their final pitches Tuesday to jurors who will decide whether the Republican will be
All right,
the first
well,
former U.S. president convicted of a crime.
We'll do
Evidence and credibility of the prosecution
a
started
promo later.
as his husband
Apparently, it didn't give me my countdown.
After listening
and automatically
to
come back.
testimony, the panel of New Yorkers sat at 10
All right.
to review the closing arguments. Almost
Awesome
3
facts about
hours
compost.
roughly 5 from the prosecution and stretched from morning through dinner time. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky received a second $1 billion promise of military aid in as many days Tuesday. The whirlwind tour of 3 European Union countries, while President Vladimir Putin warned that hitting Russian
How do I start composting?
The aid pledge for 2024 came from Belgium, which topped the money with a commitment to give Ukraine 30 F-16 fighter jets in the next 4 years.
The agreement on security cooperation and the long-term support that we just signed will provide and expand the assistance that we provide to Ukraine against this brutal aggression of Russia. In this agreement, we focus on what your military needs to defend its population. These F-16 jets will be provided to Ukraine as soon as possible. Our aim is to be able to provide first aircraft before the end of this year, 2024.
Slow deliveries of support by its Western partners, especially a lengthy delay in U.S. military aid, have left Ukraine at the mercy of Russia's bigger army and air force. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
We are working with NATO allies and then also, of course, EU members on stepping up the delivery of ammunition, air defense systems. We have seen some progress, but more progress, more air defense systems are urgently needed. The most heavy fighting is now taking place in the Kharkiv region, close to the Ukrainian-Russian border. It will be very hard and difficult for the Ukrainians to defend themselves if they cannot hit military targets just on the other side of the border.
Vladimir Putin said the use of Western supplied long-range weapons by Ukraine to hit Russian territory could bring a dangerous escalation. The onslaught by the Kremlin's better-equipped forces that is unfolding in eastern and northeastern Ukraine as summer approaches has brought Ukraine its biggest military test since Russia's full-scale invasion began in February of 2022. A prosecutor declined to file charges Tuesday against a police officer who struck and killed a Western Michigan teenager while the boy was running from a stolen vehicle. Kent County prosecutor Chris Becker played a video for reporters and said he found no evidence of intentional deadly force. He instead charged the driver of the stolen vehicle, another teen, with causing death while fleeing from police. 17-year-old Riley Doggett was hit by a patrol car driven by a sheriff's deputy at the end of a high-speed chase in Canton, Ottawa counties on April 8th. He died from head injuries May 9th. Becker said the deputy believed Doggett was dangerous and pursued him in the parking lot at 22 miles per hour. The teen was not holding a gun, but rather a phone.
And so he made the decision to try and cut him off. He thought he had, didn't think he had enough time to actually stop the car, get out. The kids had quite a bit of head start, so he tried to pull in front of him. As you can see, he made contact at some point in time, catching with the side of his car. I talked to the medical examiner. The medical examiner, I did talk to him after people were asking. I talked to him Friday afternoon. It was a Friday afternoon, and trying to explain. He said there's no evidence that he was actually run over. There's nothing in terms of crush, like his leg was crushed or anything like that. It was he was caught in the force. He had a broken hip. The force slammed his head to the ground, causing head injuries that caused his demise. So based on all this, based on the facts of the I did not find a basis to charge the officer. Essentially, I looked at first second-degree murder. Second-degree murder, there's an intent to kill, intent to great bodily harm. Did not find that here quite clear. He's going past him. He's trying to cut him off and get him into a neighborhood. Can you say that the natural tendency, the likely act, is to cause death or great bodily harm when you're trying to cut in front of somebody and stop them from going there?
Composting methods. You can compost in your backyard.
Ben Johnson,
But you can't compost.
Family said he would ask the state attorney general to review the case for possible charges. Last week, he had publicly urged authorities to release video
Well, that says
details, saying the family had been in the dark for too long. 2 people were missing and 7 were injured when a natural gas explosion caused extensive damage to a building in downtown Youngstown, Ohio. Authorities said the blast, which happened around 2:45 p.m. Tuesday, blew the facade off.
All right,
Realty
I gotta
Tower.
get ready for
Firefighters helped
sports.
some people get out of the building, which
NBA scores.
apartments and upper floors.
MLB scores.
Following the blast. One is a chase. The
Local.
explosion collapsed on the first floor into the basement. Building struck intently.
What's some local sports ball that's going on? Glasgow High School celebrated its foot of ice championship when the Hillmen and Hill Gals claimed 6 FBL titles and 2 section championship classers. League titles included girls cross country, football, girls volleyball, girls tennis, boys golf, boys tennis, girls track and field. The Hillmen won the San Joaquin Section Championship.
The job action brings 12,000 more out of classrooms and laboratories, potentially tripling the university's mission of educating the roughly 80,000 undergrads.
A's versus the Rays. The Giants played yesterday?
Workers, including
Giants
teaching
played,
assistants,
yeah, beat the
academic
Phillies.
researchers, and graders are striking, not over pay and benefits,
How many
but
innings?
instead over the UC's
Giants
response to
beat the
pro-Palestinian
Phillies.
protesters who were arrested by police or suspended from their campuses. Some union members were arrested or suspended for their role in the protest. Core to the union's demands is that the UC offer amnesty for those who experienced arrest or are facing university discipline.
A's versus the Rays.
Calls the strike illegal. Contact with the union
Here.
of a 6-week-long
And
strike
we'll
in
start
late
here.
2022
Basketball.
includes a no-strike provision. The union vehemently disagrees with that
Timberwolves.
analysis, citing legal precedent that a union can't
West
strike over
Finals.
labor practices
Game 4,
or
Dallas leads the
offenses
series.
locally union contracts.
All right, there we go. Perfect.
Melinda French Gates says she'll be donating $1 billion over the next 2 years to individuals and organizations working on behalf of women and families globally, including on
Okay, so I've
reproductive
got
rights
sports
in the
ball,
United States.
got
The
weather.
second billion-dollar commitment French Gates has personally made in the past 5 years.
Okay.
In 2019, she
Fun fact about composting. Also, what do we have news-wise?
Gates announced she would step down from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and vowed to focus on women and families. As part of leaving the Gates Foundation, French Gates received $12 million from Bill Gates for her philanthropy going forward. French Gates, one of the biggest philanthropic supporters of gender equity in the United States, said on Tuesday in a guest essay for the New York Times she's been frustrated over the years by people who say it's not the right time to talk about gender equality. And the sole physical copy of Wu-Tang Clan's unreleased Once Upon a Time in Shaolin is headed to Australia's Museum of and New Art. Only a handful of ears have listened to Wu-Tang Clan's seventh studio album to date, but next month,
let's see what else. What else do we have to talk about today?
Putting the famed piece of music history on display, Mona said it would host private listening sessions featuring select tracks from the album between June 15th and June 24th. Tickets are set to be released Thursday. They're free, but there's only a small number of
Not so much.
Once Upon a Time in Shaolin has been called the world's rarest album. After spending 6 years creating the 31-track double album, the multi-platinum
Consumer confidence rose for the first time in 4 months. Yeah, I grabbed that as a news story. iPhone sales in China. Billionaire wants to do something.
Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media.
All right.
Matt Ray Time.
Here we go.
America's first.
Did you know that healthy arteries make a gas? Yes, actually 3 note gases. And nitric oxide is a gas.
We'll do Roseville.
All day long to keep our arteries open by relaxing the blood vessel wall. By doing
Okay, here we go.
Is increased, bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part.
Let's see if it works this time.
Both
Oh, good morning.
poor diet can lead to a loss of
I didn't see you there.
gas, and in turn, blood pressure can
It's been an
go up,
interesting
energy
morning.
can go down, and you can get tingling in your hands and feet. Well, our product, nitric oxide, can easily help fix this lack of nitric oxide. Go to
I don't have a
totalwellness.com.
guest coming on today, do I?
Totalwellness.com.
Shoot, I should probably check that.
To look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Calendar
In
today.
today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect
No,
your family,
nobody on today.
and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help
All
our
right.
vets go by donating your car, truck, or van. Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will do.
Good morning, good morning.
Vets find jobs. And start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, renting or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Find out how you can make a difference in the life of the United States veteran. Call 800-209-4580 for 24-hour response. Call 800-209-4580.
800-209-4580.
That's 800-209-4580.
And good Wednesday morning, May 29th, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6. Good morning to you, Roseville. Currently 57 degrees where you're at right now. Bust out the short sleeve t-shirts. It is going to be a high of 89 degrees today. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's get right into it. We're going to start on the hardwood. Yeah, it's still, the NBA is still going. Basketball is still going. We're looking on the west side of the country. It's the finals, game 4, Timberwolves versus the Mavericks. Timberwolves on top there. Take that one, 105-100. Dallas leads that series 3-1. The East is already finished up, so we're waiting for this final series on the West to finish up. Get a winner there, and then we'll have the NBA Finals, and then we'll call it good for the season there. Going over to the MLB, A's versus the Rays. Athletics on top there, 3-0. A's play again today. You can catch all of the action here on KAHI. Let's see when that is. Radio start time today is at 3:10 this afternoon, and the game first pitch will be at 3:50 p.m. So 3:10 radio start time. A's versus the Tampa Bay Rays. This is an away series. They are visiting Tampa Bay right now. Let's go Dodgers versus the Mets. Dodgers win that one 5-2. Moving on. Giants versus the Phillies. Way better news in my world. Giants win that one but win it 1-0 in overtime, in extra innings. This is baseball, not basketball, Chris. Padres versus the Marlins. on top there, 4-0. Mariners versus the Astros. Mariners take that one 4-2. Yankees versus the Angels. Angels on top there, 4-3. Going local here, I got the Auburn Journal in my hot little hands here. We've got Titletown. Placer High School celebrated its Foothill Valley League and Sac Joaquin section championships. It won this year. The Hillmen and Hill Gals claimed 6 FVL titles and 2 section championships. Placer's league titles include girls cross country, football, girls volleyball, girls tennis, boys golf, boys tennis, and girls track and field. The Hillmen won the Sac Joaquin section championship in boys and girls tennis. So congratulations to the Hill Gals and the Hill Guys, the Hillmen, for all of your titles that you won this year. Off now to commercials, back right after this.
Here's another KAHI community bulletin board.
I feel like I'm sleepwalking through this today. What the heck is going on with me? Jeez Louise. I'm like, commercials. I don't know. I don't care. I can't keep track of all of this. The heck? All right, here we go. Timmy, you're up.
Or go to oa.org. Good Wednesday morning. My forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. The main storm track staying to the north of us. A high temperature with the sunshine today in the low 80s. The northwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, mostly clear, 55 to 60. Dry, sunny, warm.
Main storm track.
Friday, about 85 to 90 Thursday and Friday, with that spring sunshine in the forecast. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 at AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:33 a.m. Yes, that's spring sunshine. Loving that. Thank you, Tim, for that update. And were you like me where you said Maine weather storm that's going to keep away from us? Maine weather storm? What? I didn't even think anything about that. That's interesting. Hey, coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your what are we having? Oh, yeah, we're going to have your KAHI. Man, guys, I got to get back on the schedule here. We're going to have your KAHI news. We're also going to have your California Ag Report. Off to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. Oh, my gosh. That's probably what lack of sleep will do to you. All right. No idea what's going on. I'll just chalk it up as one of those days. Okay. Next segment is. So set my timer there. What isn't working? My brain. And one of the timers didn't go off
While the U.S. built temporary shield that's been taking humanitarian aid to starving Palestinians for less than 2 weeks will be removed from the coast of Gaza to be repaired after getting damaged in rough seas and weather. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh told reporters the fixes will take at least a week, and then the pier will need to be anchored back to the beach.
Due to high sea states and a North African weather system, earlier today, a portion of the Trident Pier separated from the pier that is currently anchored into the coast of Gaza. As a result, the Trident Pier was damaged, and sections of the pier need rebuilding and repairing. Therefore, over the next 48 hours, the Trident Pier will be removed from its anchored position on the coast and towed back to Ashdod, where U.S. Central Command will conduct repairs. The rebuilding and repairing of the pier will take at least over a week, and following completion will need to be re-anchored to the coast of Gaza. We don't support the large-scale operation within Rafah.
All right.
We are seeing movements of
Time to,
we are, of course, seeing the images
and I gotta get
strike that happened over the weekend.
Let's see, we gotta get a song ready.
It's heartbreaking.
She's real fine, my 409. She's real fine, my 409, my 409. Well, I saved my pennies and I saved my dimes. Giddy up, 409. For I knew there would be a time
these checkpoints as a means to interrupt the flow.
Used to take care of their parking lot.
To solve the humanitarian crisis.
Okay.
The United States is not going to be able to do that for Israel. The pier used to carry in humanitarian aid around the United States is one of the few breakthrough and other supplies are getting
Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. All right, here we go. And here's your KAHI News for Wednesday, May 29th. I'm Chris Quant. Rollover ATV crash on Memorial Day kills elderly woman in Northern California, CHP. This is from the Sacramento Bee. The 70-year-old woman was killed on Memorial Day after her ATV rolled over on a private property in Nevada County, the California Highway Patrol said. Officers were called at 8:50 a.m. to a home on Springfield Drive east of Dog Bar Road for a report of an ATV crash. Susan McFarland, 70. Susan McFarland, 70, was driving a 2003 Yamaha Kodiak when she executed an unsafe turning movement, said Officer Jason Bice, a spokesman for the CHP's Grass Valley office. McFarland was ejected from the ATV as it rolled over, suffering head and neck injuries while not wearing a helmet. She died at the scene, Bice said. The crash is under investigation. Drugs and alcohol are not suspected in the crash. Loomis Costco opens to long lines overnight campers. This is from the Auburn Journal. A long line of people wrapped around the brand new store in Loomis on Monday, on the morning of May 23rd, waiting to witness the opening of Costco. Confetti flew as Loomis Mayor Stephanie Youngblood helped cut the ribbon, while area dignitaries and customers watched and cheered. The new location offers 350 jobs to Loomis. We're for smart growth, smart, intelligent growth, unquote, Youngblood said. Quote, Costco has already done great things for Loomis because they already actually paved our road right here. This was atrocious. You can drive down it now. It is organized and making our town more beautiful, unquote. Youngblood added, quote, we're very honored that we were chosen to have a Costco here, and we're looking forward to it, the camaraderie and revenue, which is much needed, unquote. People from all over Northern California lined up 2 days in advance for an opportunity to purchase specialty liquor. There were limited releases of whiskey and bourbon. Available. Actor Charlie Day, famous for his role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, was also there signing his whiskey brand. The very first customers were all smiles as they exited Costco with their new purchases. One customer noted, quote, opening day was surprisingly easy because they had so many people and all the check stands open, unquote, she said. Quote, I didn't wait in line at all when it was time to check out, unquote. The new location is located on Sierra College Boulevard, just off Interstate 80. Back with more news after this. Continuing now with your KAHI News from the Morning Brew, consumer confidence rose for the first time in 4 months. Americans are unexpectedly feeling better about the economy this month, per the Conference Board's monthly index. U.S. consumer sentiment rose from 97.5 in April to 102 in May. What do those numbers mean? Smashing economists' estimates. Meanwhile, the expectations index, which measures the short-term outlook for income and other labor market conditions, increased the most since July. However, the reports show that Americans remain worried about inflation and interest rates. Despite their mixed feelings about the economy, Americans continue to spend vigorously on travel. The TSA set a record for most travelers screened in a single day last Friday. And from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. The greatest decade in U.S. history, statistically speaking, is the friends we made along the way. The Washington Post analyzed a recent YouGov survey asking Americans to identify the best decade since the 1930s and found that their answers were basically whenever they were a kid. Respondents tended to say the decade with the best economy, movies, and TV was the one when they were 12 to 15. The decade with the best fashion, music, and sports was when they were 16 to 19. Meanwhile, the decade with the most close-knit communities was when Americans were 4 to 7. We are simple creatures, perpetually aching to return to the sanctuary of our youth. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Ryan Salami, the FTX exec who turned on founder Sam Bankman-Fried, Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. Hess shareholders voted to approve the company's $53 billion merger with Chevron, though it's still unclear if the deal will survive the challenge from Exxon. Adam Newman gave up on his plan to buy back WeWork. Porsche announced it's making the first ever hybrid version of its iconic 911 sports car. Golden Goose, the shoe brand known for selling sneakers that look dirty on purpose, is reportedly eyeing an IPO in Milan this week at about $3.3 billion valuation. Pope Francis apologized after Italian media reported he used a homophobic slur during a private meeting. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is voracious, meaning very eager for something. And that's your KAHI News.
David Schneider had 3 hits and 2 RBIs, and the Blue Jays beat the sliding Chicago White Sox 7-2 on Tuesday night. Justin
Giddy up, forward.
13 hits. George Springer had
All right.
walked 3 and scored 2 runs. Blue Jays Kevin Gausman pitched 6 innings of 1 run.
Trying to stinger. Oh, Lordy, I hope that goes like it's supposed to.
And the Mariners beat the Astros 4-2. The second run also scored on Rodriguez's single.
Oh, Grandma got run over by her gator. Oh, snap. That's so good and so bad. Oh, man, that's somebody's grandma.
In a study, it was found that 50% of 44
wow.
had
Hey,
don't let that happen.
I'm the funniest person I know. Oh. Dang, that is brutal. Extreme.
7.9% the solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated
powered by science.
Don't settle for an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shots Gasoline Extreme and go for more on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, May 29th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 6:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Loomis. Currently 58 degrees right now, looking for a high today of 88 degrees. And we'll get back to you here in just a little bit during our news segment. But right now, we need to talk about some cars here. We've got the Loomis, or not the Loomis, the Lincoln Car Show. Downtown Lincoln Car Show is coming this Saturday, June 1st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, here it says the best car show ever is back. Well, we'll let you be the judge of that. But the best car show ever is back. That's what it says. Again, it's this Saturday, June 1st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free to spectators, over 400 vehicles. Okay, maybe that might be the best car show ever. 400 vehicles. 1979 and older. There's going to be music, food, and trophies. So, car show, apparently the cutoff date is 1979 and older. Music, food, and trophies. Again, that's going to be in downtown Lincoln. It's going to be this Saturday, June 1st. It's the 18th annual car show. If you want to find out more information, you can go to rodsandrelics.com. That's RODSN RELICS.net, rods, letter N, relics.net. Again, the best car show ever is back. Well, the best car show ever, we'll let you determine that. This Saturday, June 1st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., free to spectators, so not bad, it's free. 400 vehicles, 1979 and older. Again, find out more at rodsandrelics.net. Back with your KAHI News right after this. All right, here we go. And here's your KAHI News for this Wednesday, May 29th. I'm Chris Quant. Rollover ATV crash on Memorial Day kills elderly woman in Northern California, CHP says. This is from the Sacramento Bee. A 70-year-old woman was killed on Memorial Day after her ATV rolled over on a private property in Nevada County, the California Highway Patrol. Officers were called at 8:50 a.m. to a home on Springfield Drive east of Dog Bar Road for a report of an ATV crash. Susan McFarland, 70, was driving a 2003 Yamaha Kodiak when she executed an unsafe turning movement, said Officer Jason Bice, a spokesman for the CHP's Grass Valley office. McFarland was ejected. Let's try that again. McFarland was ejected from the ATV as it rolled over, suffering head and neck injuries while not wearing a helmet. She died at the scene, Bice said. The crash is under investigation. Drugs and alcohol are not suspected in the crash. Loomis Costco opens to long lines overnight campers. This is from the Auburn Journal. A long line of people wrapped around the brand new store in Loomis on the morning of May 23rd, waiting to witness the opening of Costco. Confetti flew as Loomis Mayor Stephanie Youngblood helped cut the ribbon while area dignitaries and customers watched and cheered. The new location offers 350 jobs to Loomis. Quote, "We're for smart growth, smart, intelligent growth," unquote, Youngblood said. Quote, "Costco has already done great things for Loomis because they have already paved our road right here. This was atrocious. You can now drive down it. It is organized and making our town more beautiful," unquote. Youngblood added, quote, "We're very honored that we were chosen to have a Costco here, and we're looking forward to it. The camaraderie and revenue, which is much needed," unquote. People from all over Northern California lined up 2 days in advance for an opportunity to purchase specialty liquor. There were limited releases of whiskey and bourbon available. Actor Charlie Day, famous for his role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, was also there signing his whiskey brand. The very first customers were all smiles as they exited Costco with their new purchases. One customer noted, quote, "Opening day was surprisingly easy because they had so many people and all the check stands open," unquote. She said, quote, "I didn't wait in line at all when it was time to check out," unquote. The new location is located on Sierra College Boulevard, just off Interstate 80. Back with more news after this.
You don't have to battle for parking. Parking is very close to the front door. You don't need a membership card to get inside to do your stuff. McCullough, Auburn's department store, has everything you need right now for the warmer weather: shorts, t-shirts, Levi's, those hand-free slip-on sneakers, and much more, all on sale. So save money, time, and gas by shopping at McCullough in the Auburn Town Center right off the bell.
Hey drivers, Brian Blaney, your 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion and driver of the number 12 American Tire Ford Mustang. You know one of the most important things that helps keep my car going on the track? Tire pressure. Keeping your tires properly inflated is crucial for safe stop
Tire pressure.
and better gas mileage. Take your tire pressure at least once a month or stop by a local tire retailer.
Message from the U.S. Tire Manufacturers Association. Tune in to the KAHI Corral every Saturday at 7 a.m.
It is a horrible song. It is pretty bad. But you think she got run over by a gator?
Seriously? I didn't realize that. That's scary. Because in the big, you're done.
You're done.
You're not wrong.
Listen in to Connie and the gang, and you'll never know what you're going to find. Everything from pets in the studio.
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing.
To the advice you've come to count on. So join Connie and a cast of thousands on the KAHI Corral Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here on 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
Continuing now with your KAHI news from the Morning Brew. Consumer confidence rose for the first time in 4 months. Americans are unexpectedly feeling better about the economy this month. Per the Conference Board's monthly index, U.S. consumer sentiment rose from 97.5 in April to 102 in May, smashing economists' estimates. Meanwhile, the expectations index, which measures the short-term outlook for income and other labor market conditions, increased the most since July. However, the report showed that Americans remain worried about inflation and interest rates. Despite their mixed feelings about the economy, Americans continued to spend vigorously on travel. The TSA set a record for most travelers screened in a single day last Friday. And also from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. The greatest decade in U.S. history, statistically speaking, is the friends we made along the way. The Washington Post analyzed a recent YouGov survey asking Americans to identify the best decade since the 1930s and found that their answers were basically, quote, whenever they were a kid, unquote. Respondents tended to say the decade with the best economy, movies, and TV was the one when they were 12 to 15 years old. The decade with the best fashion, music, and sports was when they were 16 to 19. Meanwhile, the decade with the most close-knit communities was when Americans were 4 to 7 years old. We are simple creatures, perpetually aching to return to the sanctuary of our youth. And also from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Ryan Salami, the FTX exec who turned on founder Sam Bankman-Fried, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. Hess shareholders voted to approve the company's $53 billion merger with Chevron, though it's still unclear if the deal will survive a challenge from Exxon. Adam Newman gave up on his plan to buy back WeWork. Porsche announced it's making the first ever hybrid version of its iconic 911 sports car. Golden Goose, the shoe brand known for selling sneakers that look dirty on purpose, is reportedly eyeing an IPO in Milan this week at a $3.3 billion valuation. And Pope Francis apologized after Italian media reported he used a homophobic slur during a private meeting. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is voracious, meaning very eager for something. And that's your KAHI news for this Wednesday, May 29th. I'm Chris Quant. On now to the California Ag Report. Yeah, that's right. I'm Haley Ship. I am Haley Ship. Oh, KPIs. Oh, yeah. That's right. They sure are. The reputation of heifers.
Are we there yet? Here is the latest from the people with the numbers. Cattle Facts, a global leader in beef industry research and analysis. Randy Block is their CEO.
We're seeing the number of heifers that are being placed. I would say we're right at our in-between stages by placing them on feed, but we're not yet at an expansion. At a stability phase with the heifer numbers. I think that'll pick up the pace as the year moves on.
Cow slaughter, Block says, has declined substantially.
We're off about 300,000 head on cow slaughter for the year. We think that number will continue to decline. And with it declining the way it has, I think January 1 of 2025 will be the low in the nation's beef cow herd.
Saying it again for those in the back. It's the version of Cattle Facts that.
Oh, maybe Ship's getting comfortable with her role. I'm saying it again for those in the back. Bringing some.
I've been told that to reach a millennial farmer, you have to go digital. Facebook, Vimeo, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn.
She's bringing in some humor.
Publication. Maybe a podcast. Oh, and how receptive is this age group to your sales pitch during non-work social time? Maybe. Maybe. Your farmer with a farming solution message is when they are
Well,
farming.
farming.
You know, it's easy for us to find them during the day, as most farmers are behind the wheel of a pickup truck or farm equipment with the radio on, listening to this station, the Ag Information Network of the West News. If you'd like to deliver information about your terrific product or service,
Okay.
we'll connect you directly with our community.
Almost to the top of the hour. Oh,
right here,
I should
right
find
now,
another.
what is important to their operation.
What's our next thing that we're gonna talk about?
With California Ag Today on the Ag Information Network, I am Haley Shepard.
Oh, McCullough's is selling California map fleece throws. Well, that's fun.
Auburn's best plumbing company and best heating and cooling company.
And a Lake Tahoe map fleece throw. Why not?
Very proud to have placed as runner-up
And canvas totes.
as well. Our technicians
Who's
are
that
experienced
for?
and friendly. If you have an issue with your plumbing, need a whole house generator,
What?
or maybe your furnace isn't working, give ABT a call. Reach us at 530-230-9004 for excellent service. It really is as easy as ABT.
In the heating and air conditioning business, the state of California has millions of regulations. But surprisingly, almost nothing when it comes to the technical knowledge required of a heating and air technician.
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a true technician but knows next to nothing when servicing your heating and air system. His only focus is to sell you a new one. That'll never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of your heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive 2-part service of both your furnace and your air conditioner with a written guarantee against breakdown, or the service will be free all year long. Total cost $78 or save $2,500.
Let's talk about this.
Brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R22 system. Details at 916-378-6270 or
BigMountainAir.com.
I'm Frederick Perry, host of Radio Law Talk, the most exciting, entertaining, and sometimes informative radio show on earth. Listen to us.
Maybe we'll talk about that.
Every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM 950. You can also find us on KAHI.com and the KAHI app. Remember, that's Radio Law Talk live 9 to noon every Saturday, right here on KAHI, AM and FM, the voice of the foothills.
30 seconds to the top of the hour here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Coming up in our next hour, oh, we've got your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh, most likely roll your eyes if I was a betting man. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com, or call me 530-885-3565. Pausing.
Auburn and AM 950 KAHI. Auburn.
That was interesting. And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, May 29th. It is right smack dab at the top of the hour, 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. Okay, here we go. Hang on. Oh, Producer Adam. Cough drops. I apologize for that. Wow. All right. Apparently, there's a little bit of that cold that's still hanging on. You know, it's that cough that hangs around when you've been you're getting over something. That cough that hangs around and just won't go away, and you get into these coughing fits, and you just can't stop them. Well, that's apparently where I'm at in the recovery process here. Feeling fine, feeling great, feeling better, but still getting back into the swing of things as it does after your body goes down for a few days. Hey, today is Learn About Composting Day. So gang, you and I together, we're going to learn about some composting. I know the Garden Goddesses. If you haven't caught the Garden Goddesses on the weekends, Saturday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m., you got to listen to the show. And while you're at it, listen to Connie and the Gang, the KAHI Corral from 7 to 8. Fantastic programming. I love having spent years being with the ladies in the morning there, helping to produce the morning shows. It was so much fun. And they talk composting is one of the things that they talk about all the time. And it is actually really, really cool. So that's one thing that we started to do with our family is we realized that, hey, you know, with all the food waste that goes out there, with everything that's what's the word? Adam, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they take all the garbage. Anywhere, dumps, where they take all, yeah, that's where landfills. There we go. Thank you, Adam, for the landfills. We thought, we can start just taking our food. We have a little compost bin in our kitchen. Fill it up so all the food scraps go in there. And by the way, having wrestled with pipes now and old pipes, and talking to Andrew at ABT Plumbing, Andrew Twiddle. Anyway, Andrew, basically keep stuff out of your pipes as much as possible. And we are learning that lesson as well. Keep stuff out of your pipes. And basically having a compost pile is a really great way to do that. So we have this little bin in that we put all of our scraps in. You probably do too. And take it out, and we've got some space outside the house there where we've got a nice compost pile going. And then my wife actually, Facebook Marketplace, I got to tell you, it's a wonderful thing where you can find stuff that some people's trash is somebody else's treasure. And we found one of those little composting bins, the one where you throw it in and then you can rotate it and turn it and keep that composting going. This is one of those core memories, like very near and dear to my heart. It's one of those things that you have as a kid that you don't realize really the significance of it until you're older. And that's fine. As a kid, are you really meant to realize all that stuff anyway? But my grandparents had, you've heard me talk about it before. My grandparents just had one of the most spectacular gardens that I have ever seen in my life. It was legendary amongst all of us grandkids, how they would have that garden. It was to me, it was a big garden. It was bigger than your probably average suburban garden. They had about 5 acres. And so their garden was pretty good size. I would say, I don't know. I don't want to say it was half an acre, but it was pretty big. It was a big garden, and it was always in the summertime with the corn on the cob and all the vegetables. Again, you don't realize how good you got it until you don't have it anymore. But one of the things that Grandma and Grandpa always had right off the deck there, when you got close to it, you could smell it. It smelled like a weird, I don't want to say like a spice smell, but this compost pile, I don't know. They probably started it in the 1960s for all I know. But this was a primo compost pile. How Grandpa had that compost pile going and then would take that compost over to the garden. It was something that was always, I remember marveling at it as a kid, how rich, and not even knowing that much about soil, and I remember a lot of orange peels in there because the orange trees were right near it. But how rich this compost pile smelled, and how they kept it going, and they turned it over and cared for it. There was, I'm sure, just so much good bacteria in that, and probably why they produce so many good vegetables. But hey, we need to talk about what kind of day we're producing here weather-wise. I don't know if we're producing it, but meteorologist Tim Root has produced a weather report for us. Timmy, how are we looking out there for today?
Good morning. My forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. The main storm track stands to the north of us.
Main storm track.
With the sunshine today and low northwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, mostly clear, 55 to 60. Dry, sunny, warm weather for Thursday and Friday. About 85 to 90 Thursday and Friday, with that spring sunshine in the forecast. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Does your electricity bill shock you? Trim that bill down by changing your rate plan. Matching your electric usage to the right rate plan can save you money. Visit pge.com/rate analysis to compare rate plans to see if you can save. Take a bite out of your electricity bill. Check your rate plan today. This money-saving tip brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy. You can see them at night, and every day they steal from you.
All right, I'm going to try and go a little bit longer. I'm going to cut right into America's First News.
Like drops of water in a bucket, it adds up, and you pay. Stop energy theft. Turn off printers and computers when not in use. Use a power strip for charging, and turn the done. Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
6 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:06 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, hey, we're going to keep it local here for a little bit more, gang. We're going to have a little bit more of a conversation, you and I. Are you an old car enthusiast? We'll talk about an event coming up for you this weekend here locally, especially if you like the old Model Ts, the Model T Fords there. So we're going to go off to commercial here for a little bit, keep it here local, and we'll be back in just a bit. So low. That's why I was doing the wrong fader.
It has been. Eight minutes past the top of the hour, 7:08 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here in the morning, holding it down in beautiful Studio A. Happy to be here with you on this Wednesday, May 29th. Hey, by the way, if it is your birthday today, happy stinking birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day today. It's going to be a beautiful one out there, so get out there, celebrate. We've been a little bit sick in the household here over the last week, and I keep telling the kids, I'm like, all right, you need to get outside, get some sun, get some vitamin D, especially now that we've got the sun shining. Get out there and enjoy the day today as you're celebrating your birthday. Here's a quote from one of today's birthday boys. The quote is, "No one party can fool all of the people all of the time. That's why we have two parties." That is birthday boy. Any guesses who said that? That is Bob Hope. Bob Hope's birthday is today, born in 1903, passed away in 2003. Danny Elfman, American singer and songwriter, has composed a lot of movie soundtracks. Danny Elfman, born on this day in 1953. Annette Bening, American actress, born on this day in 1950. Daniel Tosh, American comedian, Tosh 2.0, if you follow him, born on this day in 1975. And throwing it way back, 1736, Patrick Henry, American lawyer and politician, first governor of Virginia, born on this day in 1736. Speaking of my kiddos, though, I told them to get outside and get some sunshine. If you want to do that this weekend, you can do that as well. Now, my oldest, he is 16, so he's in the process of getting his driver's training and getting his driver's license. Very proud of him. He has set it all up. He is running that. He is holding space to set up time to go out to do the driver's training and then go get his driver's license. So we are at that stage in life where we're starting to get a driver. He's been driving us down now. He'll drive us into town here and is very aware and very cautious. My wife is the one that drives up front with him because she is she is way more patient and understanding and less stressed out. Apparently, when it comes to my children driving, I'm my mother. And I always thought my mother would always just freak out. Like, Mom, come on, settle down. It's fine. I've got it under control. Well, my wife has the cooler head among the two of us. So she always sits up front with my son. But when he's looking for a car, he loves the older cars. He said, I don't like the way the looks at any of these cars. So basically a car from the 70s or the 80s is what he's looking for. And we're saying, if you're looking for a car that you're going to have to spend a lot of time working on that. You realize that? And we talked to our mechanic about that. And our mechanic is like, well, send him in. I'll set him straight about that. He's like, do you want to get there or do you want to work on getting there when you get an old car? And we told him that he is still not deterred yet. So he's thinking about getting an old car. And maybe he's going to be one of the folks that maybe one day we'll join the Model T Club. The Model T Club Swap and Meet is happening at the Gold Country Fairgrounds, not today, but this weekend, June 2nd. So Do you want to see some Model Ts? Do you need some parts for a Model T? Do you own a Model T? I mean, that's a really old car. Motherlode Model T, I'm reading from the Auburn Journal here. Ford Club invites car enthusiasts to their 49th annual vintage classic cars and parts swap meet at the Gold Country Fairgrounds in Auburn on June 2nd. This annual event has gained the reputation as being one of the best local car club sponsored gatherings in Northern California, according to a release from the Motherlode Model T Ford Club. It's a great opportunity to buy and sell and trade, as well as meet up with other enthusiasts who share their passion for old vehicles of all makes and models, the release stated. Buyers and sellers are encouraged to arrive early in the morning for the best deals and hard-to-find items. The buyer gate opens Sunday at 6 a.m., and the vendor gate also opens at 6 a.m. And vendors, if you want to set up early, you can do so Saturday afternoon, June 1st at 3 p.m. So basically, if you want to see some Model Ts, or if you're looking, because you can imagine, unless you've got your own CNC machine or can fabricate your own parts there, you're probably going to be looking for parts to keep these things going. And I am always amazed when I see these old Model Ts going down the road. And by the way, you can see them here in Auburn here at the next cruise night that's happening. We'll find out when that's happening for you. And also, I'm sure you'll be able to see some at the car show in Lincoln happening. If you missed it last hour, we talked about there's a car show going on Saturday in Lincoln as well. Over 400 cars, 1979 or older. So I can only imagine that there's going to be some Model Ts there. But I am so impressed and amazed by the folks that take care of these old cars, that keep them running, keep them going. And I ever wonder, is that something that's always going to be, or is that going to eventually fade into the past? And nobody's like keeping a 1989 Subaru up to date. So how long are those old cars going to stick around? I hope a long time for all of us to enjoy, especially folks like my kids and who like the older cars. But hey, that is a signal now. We're coming back normally from what would be America's First News. And we're going to go ahead and go in now to the Fox Business Report. But before we do that, speaking of Lincoln, hey, good morning to you, Lincoln. It is 60 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 88 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report. How did that go? I think that went okay. Just talking. Just yapping. It's the same difference. Not sure what that meant. 651. Okay. Probably from what I said earlier. Okay, dad jokes. Oh shoot, what am I talking about for the announcement? Real G-Man.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11.
Bric-a-brac.
I just include clothing, jewelry, bric-a-brac, home decor, and more. Donations are tax deductible and locally and nationwide. They also need volunteers daily. The Discovery Shop is located at 2376 Grass Valley Highway in Auburn. For more information, call 530-888-7434.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:16 a.m. Hey, let's talk about another event for the calendar. Coming up, it's the Gold Rush Country Music Festival. That's coming to the Gold Country Fairgrounds June 15th and 16th. One of the bands that you'll be able to hear is, maybe you've heard of them before, the Ariel Jean Band is going to be playing. They'll be playing on Sunday. There's a lot of bands playing on Saturday. It's Saturday and Sunday. So are you a fan of country music? you want to be a fan of country music? Do you like maybe the sound of the Ariel Jean Band? Well, you should go and check it out. Again, it's the Gold Rush Country Music Festival. That's going to be June 15th and 16th at the Gold Country Fairgrounds here in Auburn. Presented by, who's it presented by? Stang Productions with the Auburn Journal and Gold Mountain, California News Media. There's going to be interactive entertainment on both days. Lots of bands. Jennifer Bell, Amador Sons, Serena, I should have read these names before I tried to say that. Sophia Claire, Scott and Sabrina, Joe Peters, Jake Jacobson, the Ariel Jean Band, what we're hearing right now, Buck Ford, Elena Jane, and Jennifer Grant are some of the bands that will be playing there. It's going to be a good time. Again, it's the Gold Rush Country Music Festival, June 15th and 16th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. You can find out more at goldrushmusicfestival.com. That's goldrushmusicfestival.com. Back with more after this.
And you'll reach those who matter most, your local customers or your local business. Here's Fred Penny of Penny & Associates to tell you why he uses KAHI Radio.
I shouldn't start reading names unless I'm confident I can pronounce them.
So call our KAHI sales team at 530-885-5636. That's 530-885-5636 to start your local advertising today.
18 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:18 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your daily dad jokes. That's right, make you laugh side. Most likely, you're going to roll your eyes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com or call me 530-885-3565, 530-885-3565. Off now to America's First News, and I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour. Okay. Here we go. 4 minutes for our next segment. Let's find some daily dad jokes.
The Republican will be the first former U.S. president convicted of a crime, squaring off over the strength of the evidence and credibility of the prosecutors.
Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper would make them sneeze. That's funny. KAHI Radio. Hi, Judy. Yes, ma'am. I'll play it again today. Give me an excuse to play. You put it together and you get it all ready to go, and I'll play it again, doggone it. So I will play that again around let's 8:14 next hour. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I played it. I played it because we do the meddlers meeting during the 7 o'clock hour. Yeah, I play it at basically. I replace the Fox Business Report. I'm like, yeah, we've heard that already. So I basically just play it during that section. So let me make sure I'm telling you the right time. So it would be, about 8:14 is when I'll play that again. Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
We have seen some progress, but more progress,
Oh, well, I'm glad. I love it. It's like if you're at the right spot in the house, you can kind of hear it in stereo. Do you hear one coming from one room and kind of coming from the other room? So that actually, and that maybe I'll share this one. I don't, maybe I've already shared it. That's actually a great memory for me. So we would spend summers at my grandparents' house, and they had I was just talking. They had the farm and the garden and all that.
And so we would be out, and especially in my teenage years, I'd be out helping Grandpa. We'd stack hay and be out working out in the field. Well, they had this old radio that they would, at the edge of the deck, that they would just have blasting, and it would be, we'd be listening to, you know, KFBK. We would have Rush, and then we'd have Tom Sullivan and Rush Limbaugh. We'd have all the talk radio all morning, all the time. I knew exactly what it was. That's how I learned to tell Eastern time. It was 3 hours, was because of talk radio. And so Grandma would have it on in the house, yeah, and then we have it on outside as well. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. So it's good to have. I'll do it. Yeah, give me an excuse to do it again, Judy. I love it. I will absolutely make sure that it happens. Yeah, and it's really good too. He's got some really good stuff. He sent me a couple more here, so I'm excited for next week and the week. I mean, hopefully he'll keep sending them to me. But yeah, he's got some good stuff. Yeah. 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 It's a great little community. So yeah, I go there, and they're very helpful, and you can get in at any time. So whether somebody's there working or not, as most gyms are right now, but there, well, it's 24 hours, so you can go in at any time. Yep. Yep. So I would go. I was going at 4 a.m. I was trying to go before doing the show, but I'm like, that's too early. I can't keep that up. So I got to figure out another time to go. But they're very helpful, and they're a great partner. So yeah, give them. Yeah. Yeah, well, go check them out. Yeah, go check them out, and they'll be glad to chat with you, and really great people there. If Brad's there, just ask for Brad. Say, hey, I hear you on the radio. I bet you he'd love to hear that. Yeah, I think he's usually there during the day. What's that? I think he's there during the days. Yeah, I think most weekdays he's there during the day. Yeah. You know where they're over by, where they're at? They're over by Safeway over there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Perfect. Awesome. I'll make it happen. Thanks, Judy. Thanks for calling. Have a great day. All right. Bye-bye. Judy's fun. She's great. Oh, dad jokes. Okay, let's get some dad jokes going here. Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper would make them sneeze. Yeah, it's funny.
UC's Office of the President calls the strike illegal, saying that its contact with the union itself, the result of a 6-week-long strike in late 2022, includes a no strike provision. The union vehemently disagrees with that. Now it's deciding legal.
All right, let's see if we got that coming in here.
Melinda French Gates says she'll be donating $1 billion.
Come on, there we go.
To individuals and organizations working on behalf of women and families globally, including reproductive rights in the United States. It is the second billion-dollar commitment French Gates has personally made in the past 5 years. In 2019, she pledged over 10 years to expand women's power and influence. Earlier this month, French Gates announced she would step down from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and vowed to focus on women and families. As part of leaving the Gates Foundation, French Gates received $12 billion.
Yeah, I just roll through the names and question how they come out. Yeah, I guess that's so. No, I remember that email literally this morning when I got here. I remember I forgot Forgot to send it, so I'll do that today.
Wu-Tang Clan's unreleased Once Upon a Time in Shaolin is headed to Australia's Museum of Old and New Art. Only a handful of ears have listened to Wu-Tang Clan's 7th studio album to date, but next month, Lucky Mona visitors may be able to hear part of it too. In addition to putting the famed piece of music history on
dang
display,
it, Jeff. Why
Mona
is
said
he?
it would host private listening sessions featuring select tracks from the album between June 15th and June 24th. Tickets are set to be released Thursday. They're free, but there's only a small number available. Once Upon a Time in Shaolin has been called the world's rarest album. After spending 6 years creating the 31-track double album, the multi-platinum hip-hop group put the single copy up for auction in 2015 on the condition that it not be put to commercial use. At the time, Wu-Tang Clan member RZA said he wanted the packaged in a handcrafted silver and nickel case that includes a 174-page book wrapped in leather to be viewed as a piece of free anytime across the board on social media.
Yeah, 33% of 44 herbal had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Nick. If you want to ensure quality, please go to totalwellness.com.
Hardening dad jokes.
Supplements made for physicians only now available to you too. Totalwellness.com, helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Would your car perform better with premium gas or regular? What do octane ratings mean? I'm Ron Ananian in the Car Doctor, your automotive prescription, right after this.
Increase economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme. The solution.
Which vegetable did Noah leave off the ark? Leeks! Yeah, that's good.
Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Today's modern vehicle, whether it's a car, SUV, or light truck, is designed with a specific fuel. What octane rating does the vehicle manufacturer call for? That's what you should use. But there are exceptions to the rule. Many high-end or luxury vehicles call for premium or higher octane fuel. And the reason for this is not just
All right.
the octane rating.
We'll do Tuesday trainer tip for June. Make sure I've got that.
Miles per gallon because you are cleaning your engine and fuel system while
We're doing Lake of the Pines.
Just don't tell your mechanic you're trying to replace them anytime soon. With your automotive prescription, I'm Ron Ananian in the Car Doctor. See you next time.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, May 29th. It is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:30 a.m. And good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is 60 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today. Very nice. 83 degrees out there. All right, it is that time. It is time for your daily dad jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh. Probably roll your eyes. If I was a betting man, I would say you're going to roll your eyes at this one. Hey, we're going to go to our inbox here live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com. You can send me your dad jokes there. Got one from Jessica S. here. Jessica sent this one in. Producer Adam, get ready for the applause on this one. Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper would make them sneeze. Jessica, that's a good one. Let's do that. Let's do that one more time here. Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper would make them sneeze. All right, that's one to tell the kids in the that they're gonna roll their eyes and walk away from me. But hey, let's have some gardening jokes here. What kind of sock wear? Garden hose. Oh. Why didn't anyone laugh at the gardener's jokes? Because they were too corny. Yeah, okay. That lucky that got a rim shot. Which vegetable did Noah leave off the ark? Leeks. That's a good one. Okay, 2 applauses today. Oh my gosh, that's pretty good. All right, producer Adam is feeling generous. Okay. What's the easiest way to stop a dog from digging in the garden? Take away his shovel.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Why can't the flower ride his bike? Because he lost his pedals. All right, let's end it there. And those have been, oh no, let's do one more. What do trees drink? Root beer. All right, there we go. And those have been your that was a pretty good one. And those have been your daily dad jokes. I still like the pepper one with the fish. Let's do that one more time. Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper would make them sneeze. One more time. There we go. Send me yours live at KAHI.com, LIVE at KAHI.com, or call me 530-885-3565. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
With the new year, it's time to spray the weeds, lay down the fertilizer, and then time to plant the pastures.
That was pretty good. Okay, got a call from Judy. Missed the Tuesday trainer tip. So we're gonna play that again today. It's cool. Timmy, you're up.
Wednesday morning, my forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. The main
Mary Jane.
to the north of us, high temperature with
Play that.
sunshine below 80. Winds about 10 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, mostly clear, 55 to 60. Dry, sunny, warm weather for Thursday and Friday. About 85 to 90 Thursday and Friday, with that spring sunshine in the forecast. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 at AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your KAHI news, also your Fox Business Report. Also, Judy, Judy from Applegate called in and said, hey, I was listening for the Tuesday trainer tip yesterday, and I missed it. Could you play it again? Judy, I am happy to play that again. If you missed it yesterday, Brad from CAC Fit gives us our Tuesday trainer tip of the day. We're just going to call it the trainer tip of the week. So Tuesdays when we played it, I will play that during the 8 o'clock hour, probably around 8:14 a.m. So if you missed it, we'll have our Tuesday trainer tip again on a Wednesday. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in a little bit. I feel like I actually start to wake up like right about now. 7:30 is the time where I'm like, I feel somewhat cognizant. I can actually put words and pieces of things together.
Same area where fires triggered a deadly fire days earlier in a camp for this week.
Do.
The tent camp at Burno was drawn widespread.
I remembered
outrage, including from some of Israel's closest allies.
here
Military's expanding
this morning that I forgot. We'll do it today.
While the U.S. built temporary camp has been taking humanitarian aid to starving Palestinians for less than 2 weeks, will be removed from the coast. Seas and weather. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh told reporters the fixes will take at least a week, and then the pier will need to be anchored back to the beach.
Due to high sea states and a North African weather system, earlier today, a portion of the Trident Pier separated from the pier that is currently anchored to the coast of Gaza. As a result, the Trident Pier was damaged, and sections of the pier need rebuilding and repairing. Therefore, over the next 48 hours, the Trident Pier
What was I going to do?
moved from its anchored position on the coast and towed back to Asheville.
Gotta find something to
where a
announce.
single command will conduct repairs. The rebuilding and repairing of the pier will take at least over a week, and following completion will need to be re-anchored to the coast of Gaza.
Right?
We don't support
Finally waking up. It's
the
crazy.
large-scale operation within Gaza.
Okay, we need search.
We are, of course, seeing the imagery that came from the strike that happened
80s.
over the weekend. No matter what anyone says, those images, what's happening on the ground, it's
Oh, we gotta do this. Community events chamber 8675309. And so do I. All right, what are we doing? We're doing nope. What's it? Art walk reception? Nope. When is shoot? It's in June. June 8th. Cocktails and cinema. There we go. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way. I'm Dr. Mitch.
You know, it just leads to the.
Yep. That's more like
the Wolves avoided being the 16th team out of 21 against Swansea. 3 games of the series that started at home. Now they'll try to be just in 4 6 games.
All right. And reset news stories.
NHL's power play goal leader this year did it again, coming through with his 6th.
Here we go.
This season, 112 and never going to give you up. Panthers top the New York Rangers 3-2 Tuesday night, even in the Eastern Conference Final at 2 games. The call on ESPN, it was the 3rd straight overtime game in the series and the first one that the Panthers scored in the extra session. Matthew Tkachuk on the team's message going into overtime.
We said, let's go win in the first few minutes. And we did. So it's a great feeling. We dominated, I felt, for most of the last 2 games, especially as the games go on. So, it was, we caught them with not a great turnover on their part. Got a breakaway for Barkey, and what a great little power play there for the win. So we're very happy with it.
Game 5 is Thursday in New York, where the team split the opening 2 matchups of this series. Game 6 will be Saturday in Sunrise, and the Prince of Wales Trophy awarded to the East champs will be in attendance that night. On the diamond, Jeremiah Estrada was waived by the Cubs in early November. Just more than a month ago, he was in AAA, and now is on a 13 strikeout streak, the most in the expansion era. Estrada achieved the milestone by striking out the side of the 9th in a 4-0 victory against the Miami Marlins Tuesday night. He celebrated by slapping his chest and glove and blowing a kiss to the sky. A few minutes later, he got a Gatorade shot. The 13 strikeouts have been swinging. And David Schneider had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. And the Blue Jays beat the sliding Chicago White Sox 7-2 on the rain Tuesday night. Justin Turner drove in 2 runs for Toronto, which finished with 13 hits. George Springer had 2 hits, walked 3, and scored 2 runs. Blue Jays righty Kevin Gossman pitched 6 innings of 1-run ball. The 33-year-old has won his last 4 decisions. And Julio Rodriguez drove in the go-ahead run with an infield single in the 8th inning after Josh Rojas tied the game with an RBI double, and the Mariners beat the Astros 4-2. A second run also scored on Rodriguez's single as Alex Bregman's throwing error allowed Rojas to score and Rodriguez to take second. Mitch Herringer led off the inning with a double. The winning rally came off reliever Ryan Presley, who is now 0-2. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way. You've got America's First News.
America's First News with Matt Ray.
Can you believe, with all the recent violent protests, looting, and destruction, some areas are considering either defunding or abolishing the police? At a time when America's neighborhoods need the protection of police the most, some elected officials would rather create more chaos by playing politics. If you're sick of elected officials giving in to demands of the radical left, you're not alone. It's time we stand up and declare our support for local police. The majority of police officers are important partners in protecting our God-given rights. If you prefer freedom over chaos, then learn how you can help protect the local police that serve your community. Call today and request your free Support Your Local Police info packet. Dial 800-JBS-USA1. That's 800-JBS-USA1. Request your free Support Your Local Police info packet by calling 800-JBS-USA1.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let. Oh, smart man. And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, May 29th. It is 15 minutes to the top of the hour. And good morning to you, Shingle Springs. Currently, it is 61 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 84 degrees. Oh, hang on a second. Producer Adam, am I being rickrolled? Hang on, what is this music about? I'll tell you what this music is about. I'm not being rickrolled. We're talking about cocktails and cinema. It's going to be Saturday, June 8th from 6 to 10 p.m. It's going to be at the Auburn State Theater here in downtown Auburn at 985 Lincoln Way, number 102. Turn back time. It's a fundraiser. It's a street party. Come join us at the street party of the year as we relive the best of the 80s. Yeah, how about a little Rick Astley here? Never going to give you up. Maybe they're going to play that. This event is going to be filled with fun, food, and friends, and help raise the ceiling at the historic Auburn State Theater. Sample tasty treats from local restaurateurs and cocktails of the decade while DJ Mark spins your favorite hit songs of the 1980s. If you're there, request this one. I mean, is that not quintessential 80s or what? I don't know what is. Enjoy a fun video look back at the best of the decade by Elliot Anders. How about that? And more. We invite you to swank it up with your favorite 80s style, from the Izod popped collared shirts. Do you remember the little alligators on them? Aerobics-inspired spandex and big shoulders, princess dyed dresses, and pastel suits sans socks. Let's do the Don Johnson, take your sports coat, Miami Vice, roll up the sleeves there. How was that ever a thing? The 80s had it all. The 80s had it all. Boy, did it ever. You can find out more at auburnstatetheater.org/cocktails-cinema. Again, that's auburnstatetheater.org/cocktails-cinema. Again, it's Cocktails and Cinema Saturday, June 8th from 6 to 10 p.m. here at Auburn, at the Auburn State Theater, 985 Lincoln Way, number 102 in Auburn. auburnstatetheater.org/cocktails-cinema. Back with your KAHI News right after this. It's fun. Now we go to somebody, to the news. Do bum bum do 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 do. 4.5. And here's your KAHI News for this Wednesday, May 29th. I'm Chris Quant. Rollover ATV crash on Memorial Day kills elderly woman in Northern California. This is from the Sacramento Bee.
A 70-year-old woman was killed on Memorial Day after her ATV rolled over on a private property in Nevada County, the California Highway Patrol said. Officers were called around 8:50 a.m. to a home on Springfield Drive east of Dog Bar Road for a report of an ATV crash. Susan McFarland, 70, was driving a 2003 Yamaha Kodiak when she executed a, quote, unsafe turning movement, unquote, said Officer Jason Bice, a spokesman for the CHP's Grass Valley office. McFarland was ejected from the ATV as it rolled over, suffering head and neck injuries while not wearing a helmet. She died at the scene, Bice said. The crash is under investigation. Drugs and alcohol are not suspected in the crash. Loomis Costco opens to long lines overnight campers. This is from the Auburn Journal. A long line of people wrapped around the brand new store in Loomis on the morning of May 23rd, waiting to witness the opening of Costco. Confetti flew as Loomis Mayor Stephanie Youngblood helped cut the ribbon while area dignitaries and customers watched and cheered. The new location offers 350 jobs to Loomis. Quote, we're for smart growth, smart, intelligent growth, unquote, Youngblood said. Quote, Costco has already done great things for Loomis because they already actually paved our road right here. This was atrocious. You can drive down it now. It is organized and making our town more beautiful, unquote. Youngblood added, quote, we're very honored that we were chosen to have a Costco here and we're looking forward to it. The camaraderie and revenue, which was much needed, unquote. People from all over Northern California lined up 2 days in advance for the opportunity to purchase specialty liquor. There were limited releases of whiskey and bourbon available. Actor Charlie Day, famous for his role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, was also there signing his whiskey brand. The very first customers were all smiles as they exited Costco with their new purchases. One customer noted, quote, opening day was surprisingly easy because they had so many people and all the check stands were open, unquote, she said. Quote, I didn't wait in line at all when it was time to check out, unquote. The new location is located on Sierra College Boulevard, just off Interstate 80. Back with more news after this.
Do you know of a senior neighbor, friend, or family member going through a difficult time? Perhaps you know of a senior that could use a burst of joy, or a senior that needs help overcoming a conflict they are facing. Silver Wishes in Placer County may be able to help. Silver Wishes grants wishes to help seniors overcome a challenge, help break up the monotony of a chronic illness, bring joy to those suffering from loneliness, or fulfill a bucket list item for someone facing a terminal diagnosis. Wish recipients must be residents of Placer County and at least 65 years old. For more information and to nominate a senior for a wish, go to www.silverwishes.org. That's www.silverwishes.org. Silver Wishes, impacting our seniors one wish at a time.
Tune
in to the KAHI Corral every Saturday at 7 a.m.
I still freak out because I think animals fell out the window. But they didn't. Well, Reno did. He was
what?
On the windowsill. It just had on the window. Did he come when you called him? Very slowly. Grabbed him and pulled him back in and closed the window.
Listen in to Connie and the gang.
You never know what you're going to get.
Everything from pets in the studio.
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing.
To the advice you've come to count on.
Well, that's Mike's wife.
So join Connie and a cast of thousands on the KAHI Corral Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here on 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
Continuing now with your KAHI news from the Morning Brew, consumer confidence rose for the first time in 4 months. Americans are unexpectedly feeling better about the economy this month. Per the Confidence Board's monthly index, U.S. consumer sentiment rose from 97.5 in April to 102 in May, smashing economists' estimates. Meanwhile, the Expectations Index, which measures the short-term outlook for income and other labor market conditions, increased the most since July. However, the report showed that Americans remain worried about inflation and interest rates. Despite their mixed feelings about the economy, Americans continue to spend vigorously on travel. The TSA set a record for most travelers screened in a single day last Friday. And from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. The greatest decade in U.S. history, statistically speaking, is the friends we made along the way. The Washington Post analyzed a recent YouGov survey asking Americans to identify the best decade since the 1930s and found that their answers were basically whenever they were a kid. Respondents tended to say the decade with the best economy, movies, and TV was the one when they were 12 to 15. The decade with the best fashion, music, and sports was when they were 16 to 19. Meanwhile, the decade with the most close-knit communities was when Americans were 4 to 7 years old. We are simple creatures perpetually aching to return to the sanctuary of our youth. And also from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Ryan Salami, the FTX exec who turned on founder Sam Bankman-Fried, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. Hess shareholders voted to approve the company's $53 billion merger with Chevron, though it's still unclear if the deal will survive a challenge from Exxon. Adam Neumann gave up on his plan to buy back WeWork. Porsche announced it's making the first ever hybrid version of its iconic 911 sports car. Golden Goose, the shoe brand known for selling sneakers that look dirty on purpose, is reportedly eyeing an IPO in Milan this week at a $3.3 billion valuation. And Pope Francis apologized after Italian media reported he used a homophobic slur during a private meeting. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is voracious, meaning very eager for something. And that's your KAHI News for this Wednesday, May 29th. I'm Chris Quant. Back with more after this. Hey there, Producer Adam. Oh, that's a good reminder. First news. Plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Everybody feeling positive where we're at in the country. We all came together. Tiger Republicans are destroying their.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that this morning. I was getting in the truck. I was driving to work. I was looking around. I'm like, man, the sun is shining.
That is a threat to this country.
I feel the unity.
Clear and present danger.
Weekdays from 1 to 4 on the voice of the foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI. In the heating and air conditioning business, the state of California has millions of regulations. But surprisingly, almost nothing when it comes to the technical knowledge required of a heating and air technician.
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a true technician but knows next to nothing servicing a heating and air system. His only focus is to sell you a new one. That'll never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of your heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive 2-part service of both your furnace and your air conditioner with a written guarantee $78 or save $4,500 on a brand new heating and air system plus additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R32 system. Details at 916-378-6270
Or BigMountainAir.com.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened sharply lower with the Dow down more than 400 points in early trading. Investors are moving cautiously with interest rates on treasuries higher and the economy and inflation coming later in the week. Marathon Oil shares are up 10%. The energy company is being sold to ConocoPhillips. Conoco shares are down 1%. Dick's Sporting Goods shares up 9% after its earnings top forecast. It is optimistic about this year. And pet retailer Chewy shares up 17% after it reported higher sales and announced a stock buyback. Abercrombie & Fitch shares are up more than 5%. Its quarter was upbeat. American Airlines shares are down 12%. It's pulling back on its optimistic forecast for the summer. That's your Bucks Business Report. I'm Jim Priscilla, invested in you.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity
Ooh, what
with
now?
Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/service.
Here's Jimmy J.
DJ of the stars. Why didn't see?
Realize the mic was on. Hi, this is Jimmy J. How you doing? Join me every Saturday at 8 p.m. right here on KAHI. I have the stars you grew up with, some great music, and I promise I won't sing. So join me this Saturday, 8 p.m. for Rewind, right here on the Voice of the Foothills, AM 950 KAHI.
As we read about another teenager's suicide, someone is eating lunch alone. As we mourn the loss of yet another young
Oh.
someone just found
Why didn't I?
unsecured gun.
I was literally just thinking about that. Oh, it is what it is.
Happening to our children. Someone is posting a letter saying goodbye.
Instead of this depressing PSA. Why the heck?
To prevent teen suicide. Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
FM 104.5, K283C,
Oh.
and AM 950, KAHI.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, May 29th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour, 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here in the morning, holding it down in Studio A. Beautiful Studio A as I'm looking outside the windows right now. My gosh, gang, are we in for a great looking day today or what? It is going to be amazing today. We'll check in with meteorologist Tim Root a little bit later here to see what our weather's looking like for today. Timmy always coming through with the great weather forecast. Hey, later on this week on Friday, Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson is going to call in. We're going to have a little chat on Friday. Find out a little bit more from her perspective on our county. And we have something specific that we're going to be talking about. I can't remember what it is right now. I should have confirmed that before I started down this road. But Placer County Supervisor Cindy Gustafson will be chatting. We'll be chatting on Friday. Also, Mary Jane Pop and I will connect on Friday, our little Friday date, to find out what's coming up with her show, Pop Talk in Search of the Truth. If you haven't heard, Mary Jane is back on the weekends now, and you can catch her on Saturdays from 5 to 7 a.m., so right before Connie and the KAHI Corral. Now, if you missed that, you're like, Chris, that was way too early. I am not up that early on a Saturday. Then you can catch her again Sundays from 9 to 11 p.m. So Sunday from 9 to 11 p.m. And you're like, Chris, that's too late. I'm in bed by then. I'm snoozing. Well, you can listen to it anytime at KAHI.com. Just go to audio on demand there to hear Mary Jane's show. You can also hear the KAHI Corral, A Time for Seniors, The Garden Goddesses, all that good stuff. You can hear that audio on demand at KAHI.com. Coming up in a little bit, in just a few minutes here in this hour, Judy from Applegate. Thanks for calling in, Judy. Missed Tuesday's trainer tip of the day yesterday. I get it. Life happens. You got to go outside. The doorbell rings. The dogs are barking. The cat is doing drag. If it's our house, the cat, my goodness gracious, our cat, Lacey, perpetually, somebody comes in and gets a container, said, well, she brought in another lizard. So we're perpetually chasing lizards. Yes, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday. My son, my youngest, comes in and he's grabbing another. He had already taken one lizard out earlier in the day. And he came back into the kitchen to get the same container again and said, well, the lizard that she brought in yesterday, it looks like it finally popped out of the vents again. So here's that other lizard. And he was on it. Good job, son. Got that lizard, got it captured and returned safely. It's a catch and release, basically, is what it turns out to be. So we take the lizard and we try and keep her, because she's very, very cognizant of what's going on. Her little toy that moves around now. So we try and put her in the other room so she's not seeing us actually catch the lizard, take it outside,
and again, release it. So hopefully she doesn't find where it is, but she's going to track it down again, and she'll probably bring it back. And welcome to summer, where the cat is perpetually bringing in lizard or field mice. So that's always fun too. Is it dead? Is it alive? And for some reason, it's the bathroom. She deposits these things in our bathroom, and you walk into the bathroom, typically barefoot in the morning, and go, "Oh, hey, whoa!" Did not expect to see that there, but it's animals. We love them, right? That's what we keep telling ourselves is we love the animals. So hopefully, if you've got a cat. My cousin has cats. She would not dream of sending these cats outdoors. She's like, they are indoor cats. They have a little catio. Her husband built that right off their window there for their bedroom. She can open up the window there, and they have a little catio. It's all screened in, and the cats can, quote unquote, I'm using air quotes right now, the cats can be outside so they can experience the outdoors, the nature. She said, I heard this, I was talking to her the other day, and she said, I heard this commotion the other day. I thought it was an earthquake. No, it turns out one of the cats was trying to yank a bird through the wire mesh there. The cat had gotten a hold of a bird. I don't know how, because I've seen that catio. The mesh is not that big. But nature will find a way. If cats see that they have a toy and a toy to play with, they will find a way. So anyway, there we go. Pets. Again, gotta love them as we get used to them. Hey, today is Learn About Composting Day. Do you compost? Do you do that? We've started doing that at our house. There's so much food waste that goes out there. We've got scraps that we don't have chickens anymore like we used to. We used to love giving all the scraps to the chickens, but we've got our own compost pile going now. We also got one of those little bins that you rotate now. You put the compost in there and rotate it. So we'll talk a little bit more about composting here in a minute. And it's also Put Your Pillow in the Fridge Day. What the heck is that all about? We'll find out about that here in a bit. But first, I don't know if he puts his pillow in the fridge or not, but we're going to find out if what meteorologist Tim Root has today for our weather. Timmy, how are we looking for today?
Good morning. My forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. The main storm track staying to the north of us. A high temperature with the sunshine today in low 80s. The northwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, mostly clear, 55 to 60.
Oh my gosh, was my mic not muted that whole or unmuted that whole time?
About 85 to 90 Thursday and Friday, with that spring sunshine in the forecast. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 at AM 950 KAHI.
Courtesy and common sense when operating any motorized vehicle. You could save a life and a lifetime of regret. This message is brought to you by the Cookie Tree, serving our community with excellence and pride. They're located at 441 Ridge Street, Suite A in Yuba City. For information, call them at 530-673-1246. 530-673-1246. That's the Cookie Tree, on the air reminding everyone to please drive safely this spring. Every day we talk to business owners, large and small, about the headaches they face with workmen's compensation. The rates keep going up, and those audits are a nightmare. Hi, Vince Harris from Homer Insurance. We tie your payroll and your work comp to mitigate much of the auditing issues, and the savings you'll enjoy will amaze you. Call us today at Homer Insurance, 339-77, and see how much you can save. That number again, 916-339-77.
6 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:06 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to have your, let's see, what is it? No, we're swapping it in. We're going to do our Tuesday trainer tip. That's going to come up. We're also going to keep it here local for a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit more about some local news here. Also composting, National Composting or Learn About Composting Day, and Put Your Pillow in the Fridge Day. What the heck is that all about? We'll find all about that in just a little bit. Back right after this.
Knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you or someone you know is living with Parkinson's, a neurological disease that affects movement, understand that it can be difficult to know where to find help.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers. Answers for everyone in the fight.
We can help you understand the disease, help you find expert care and support.
Give you tips for living a better life, and share the latest research.
Find your answers and join us in the fight against or call 1-800-473-4636.
That's 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
I was trimming the hedges last Saturday when suddenly I heard a friendly bark. It was my neighbor's German Shepherd. I knew the dog liked me, but like many Americans, I'm afraid of dogs. Anyway, I smiled and started back away, and then the dog leaped at me. Not another jump, but a crystal jeté right over the edge into my arm. Her eyes are brown and teeth were sharp. My time was up. I knew I had to face. We walked towards the rose bush. She did back and snatched the rose between her teeth and broke into the skin. Even though I was frightened, I still thought to myself, gee, you know, the dog is a cute. Anyway, I was concentrating so hard on my rescue tangle, I hardly heard my wife yell at me through the back door. Oh, I said it! Stop playing with that dog and save the hedges! My snuggle partner twisted out of my arms and vanished like quicksilver, leaving behind nothing but a tiny rose and a tattered sweetheart. Imagine that. You just did. You saw it on the radio.
Dozens of countries have.
The station and the Radio Advertising Bureau have news for you. Just call the station and say, I saw it on the radio.
9 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:09 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, Voice of the Foothills. Good morning to you. Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in beautiful Studio A in the KAHI studios here from 6 to, let's say, 8:30-ish a.m. We finish out this hour with the O'Reilly Report and America's First News, but we're keeping it local here for just a little bit longer because I haven't had a chance yet. If it's your birthday today, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastic day. All your birthday wishes and dreams come true today. Are you one of the ones that make a wish before you blow out the candle, but you can't say what it is, right? So don't say what your wish is, but hope all of that's shaping up to have a great day for you today. If you have a birthday today, you share it with this person who said, quote, "United we stand, divided we fall. Let us not split into factions, which must destroy that union upon which our existence hangs." Very relevant. It feels like it's very relevant words from today. That's from birthday boy Patrick Henry. You might have heard of him. He was born on this day in 1736, American lawyer and politician, first governor of Virginia. He died in 1799. Again, that quote, "United we stand, divided we fall. Let us not split into factions, which must destroy that union upon which our existence hangs." Again, that's from Patrick Henry. Another quote from a birthday boy today: "No one party can fool all of the people all of the time. That's why we have two parties," on the lighter side of things. Very funny guy. Bob Hope said that. Bob Hope, born on this day in 1903. Passed away in 2003. Daniel Tosh, American comedian, Tosh 2.0, if you follow him, born on this day in 1975. And Danny Elfman, American singer, songwriter, composer. A lot of movie soundtracks were made by Danny Elfman, born on this day in 1953. Now, hey, we were talking a little bit earlier. Today is Put a Pillow in Your Fridge Day. Now, what the heck does that mean? By the way, hun, to my wife, if you're listening to this, find a pillow, put it in the fridge, because here's, I don't know who started, what this was about, but we'll see if we can track down what this is. Put a Pillow in Your Fridge Day is celebrated on this day, May 29th, and it's meant to bring you prosperity and good fortune. The name of this day is quite literal, for it's on this day people are to put a pillow in their fridge for the magic to work. What if you have more than one refrigerator? Does it double up the prosperity and good fortune? In the old tradition, people would put their pillows inside of their fridge for this ritual to work. Refrigerators haven't been around for a long time. I mean, okay, all right, so okay, but not everyone finds sleeping on a chilly pillow all that comfortable. Gang, this is on the internet, so of course you know it's true. You're more than welcome to try that instead of honor the old ways, but if you can withstand the cold, go ahead and do that. Now, interesting fact, now I didn't know this. Again, take this with a grain of salt, but pillows have come a long way since their rustic origins. It's believed that pillows have existed since 7000 BCE in the early Mesopotamia. Now, back then, they were made of stone, and while that couldn't have been the most comfortable, it is believed that they kept the bugs from crawling into their mouths, nose, and ears. Okay, all right, I'm with you on that. Egyptians believed that the head was the seat of spiritual life, and used different materials like marble, ivory, stone, ceramic, and wood as pillows. So that's interesting. Now, I don't know if you've seen these advertisements for the square pillows. Have you seen that? It's supposed to be the more natural shape, like how they did it more. If you sleep on your side, it's better for you sleeping on your side. Again, I don't know if this is just the marketing team that's trying to sell these square pillows came up with, like, back in the ancient times, what they used to rest their heads was actually square. But I don't know. It seems to convince me. During the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution made the pillow common. At this time, almost every household used pillows. It would be hard to imagine life without a pillow. The industrialization made the process made them more attainable to the common person and more affordable because they were mass produced. So there we go. It is Put a Pillow in Your Fridge Day. So if you're down for it, it's supposed to bring you a day of prosperity and good fortune. So there we go. If you're game, put a pillow in your fridge. Just don't forget about it. I don't know if you have to put it in there all day. But hey, it is 14 minutes past the hour, 8:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, Voice of the Foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Placerville. Currently 64 degrees right now. Looking for a high today of 82 degrees. Hey, got a call from Judy in Applegate. Said, hey, you know what? I missed it yesterday. I missed the Tuesday trainer tip of the day. And I said, Judy, don't worry about it. I got you. We're going to replay it. Even though it's a Wednesday, let's just call it the trainer tip of the week. Partner with Brad from CAC Fit to give us our trainer tip. Let's just say of Tuesday, but we'll say for the week. So Judy, here we go. If you missed it yesterday, here is our Tuesday trainer tip of the week on a Wednesday.
Hey everybody, this is Brad from CAC Fit. Here's your Tuesday training tip here on KAHI Radio. If any of you are struggling or feel intimidated with the weight room, please ask for help. Whether it's an employee or another member of the gym, for the most part, everyone is very helpful in my experience. I've been doing this almost 20 years, and most people are very helpful if you just ask. If you have any questions with how to set up a machine, don't be embarrassed. We've all been there before, and someone had to teach us as well. So no matter where you are in your fitness journey, just know there's others who are there with you, and we're all here to help, especially here at 2514 Bell Road at CAC Fit. If you want to stop on by, we'll answer any questions you have. All right. Have a great day. This was your Tuesday training tip here at KAHI.
And a huge thanks to Brad over at CAC Fit for our Tuesday trainer tip. Now, if you missed it yesterday, we're just planning it again here on a Wednesday. So that is true, actually. Having been there, the weights can be very intimidating. There's all these different machines for all these different muscle groups. And you go in there, and a lot of the machines, if you've been around them, they have little visual instructions on what muscles they use. And you kind of can see a little bit. But sometimes you're like, I don't know. I see that it's supposed to work this muscle group, but I have no idea how this apparently medieval torture device works, because that's exactly what this looks like. But each machine has a different use. It was very cool in my journey there recently, being at the gym now and learning all that. It is very cool to kind of learn all that. And what Brad said, everybody's super helpful. Everybody wants everybody else to succeed there. It's a very, very cool camaraderie that goes on there at the gym, as I am finding out. I'm kind of finding out why people love to go to the gym so much, because it can be a really cool community. So thank you to Brad at CAC Fit for our Tuesday trainer tip of the day. Here on a Wednesday, we replayed it again today. We'll be back with your KAHI traffic right after this.
Dahlia, join me for my live call-in medical talk show that answers your questions right here on KAHI. On my show, we tackle issues like cholesterol, diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and policies.
Dr. Dahlia, weekdays from 9 to noon here on the Voice of the Foothills.
Join me each weekday morning right here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
17 minutes past the top of the hour, taking a look outside at traffic. Accident, right lane block. That's I-80 westbound at Madison Avenue, backed up to Antelope Road now. So if you're coming down the freeway coming down to Sacramento. Just give a heads up that you're going to have some slow traffic as you're coming down there. 65 southbound if you're coming from Lincoln down to 80, slowing down as we'd expect this time of day around Blue Oaks there. 80 westbound over to I-5, looking pretty clear right now, and I-5 northbound is looking pretty okay as you're going up to the airport. Some slowdown around Airport Boulevard. I-5 southbound slowing down as you're coming down to Sacramento. 50 eastbound and westbound looking pretty good right now. 50 westbound slowing down around Watt Avenue there as you're coming into Sacramento, as we would expect this time of day. Looking at Highway 49, if you're coming across the canyon right now, checking out on Caltrans here right now, doesn't look like we have any traffic restrictions on Highway 49 if you're heading over from Auburn to Placerville or Placerville to Auburn. Beautiful out there. Enjoy that drive, especially this time of the year. Back with more right after this.
Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the morning along with Matt Ray and America's First News. Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. You're on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
19 minutes past. That cracks me up every time. 19 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, Sports Ball. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in a bit.
Good Wednesday morning on America's First News continues. And Donald Trump's attorneys and Manhattan's prosecutors made their
okay. Do the news, go do some editing, and we'll be back with Sports Ball. Yay!
Convicted of a crime, squaring off over the strength of the evidence and credibility of the prosecution's star witness as his hush money trial drew toward a close. After listening to more than 4 weeks of testimony, the panel of New Yorkers sat attentively through a marathon of closing arguments, almost 3 hours from the defense and roughly 5 from the prosecution, and stretched from morning through dinner time. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky received a second $1 billion promise of military aid in as many days Tuesday, the whirlwind tour of 3 European Union countries, while President Vladimir Putin warned that hitting Russian soil with Western-supplied weapons could set the war on a dangerous new path. The aid pledge for 2024 came from Belgium, which topped the money with a commitment to give Ukraine 30 F-16 fighter jets in the next 4 years.
The agreement on security cooperation and the long-term support that we just signed will provide and expand the assistance that we provide to Ukraine against this brutal aggression of Russia. In this agreement, we focus on what your military needs to defend its population. These F-16 jets will be provided to Ukraine as soon as possible. Our aim is to be able to provide first aircraft before the end of this year, 2024.
Slow deliveries of support by its Western partners, especially a lengthy delay in U.S. military aid, have left Ukraine at the mercy of Russia's bigger army and air force. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
We are working with NATO allies, many of them are also, of course, EU members, on stepping up the delivery of ammunition, air defense systems. We have seen some progress, but more progress, more air defense systems are urgently needed. The most heavy fighting is now taking place in the Kharkiv region, close to the Ukrainian-Russian border. It will be very hard and difficult for the Ukrainians to defend themselves if they cannot hit military targets just on the other side of the border.
Vladimir Putin said the use of Western-supplied long-range weapons by Ukraine to hit Russian territory could bring a dangerous escalation. The onslaught by the Kremlin's better-equipped forces that is unfolding in eastern and northeastern Ukraine as summer approaches has brought Ukraine its biggest military test since Russia's full-scale invasion began in February of 2022. A prosecutor declined to file charges Tuesday against a police officer who struck and killed a Western Michigan teenager while the boy was running from a stolen vehicle. Kent County prosecutor Chris Becker played a video for reporters and said he found no evidence of intentional deadly force. He instead charged the driver of the stolen vehicle, another teen, causing death while fleeing from police. 17-year-old Riley Doggett was hit by a patrol car driven by a sheriff's deputy at the end of a high-speed chase in Kent and Ottawa counties on April 8th. He died from head injuries May 9th. Becker said the deputy believed Doggett was dangerous and pursued him in the parking lot at 22 miles per hour. The teen was not holding a gun, but rather a phone.
And so he made the decision to try and cut him off. He thought he had, didn't think he had enough time to actually stop the car, get out. The kids had quite a bit of head start, so he tried to pull in front of him. As you can see, he made contact at some point in time, catching with the side of his car. I talked to the medical examiner. The medical examiner did talk to him after people were asking. I talked to him Friday afternoon. It was a Friday afternoon and trying to explain. He said there's no evidence that he was actually run over. There's nothing in terms of crush, like his leg was crushed or anything like that. It was he was caught in the force. He had a broken hip. The force slammed his head to the ground, causing head injuries that caused his demise. So based on all this, based on the facts and circumstances, they did not find a basis to charge the officer. Essentially, you look at first second-degree murder. Second-degree murder, there's an intent to kill, intent to great bodily harm. Did not find that here quite clearly. He's going past him. He's trying to cut him off from getting into a neighborhood. Can you say that the natural tendency, the likely act, is to cause death or great bodily harm when you're trying to cut in front of somebody and stop them from going there? Clearly, if you wanted to run him over, you could have just gunned it right at him, and there's no evidence of that once again.
Ben Johnson, an attorney for the family, said he would ask the state attorney general to review the case for possible charges. Last week, he had publicly urged authorities to release video and other details, saying the family had been in the dark for too long. 2 people were missing and 7 were injured when a natural gas explosion caused extensive damage to a building in downtown Youngstown, Ohio. Authorities said the blast, which happened around 2:45 p.m. Tuesday, blew the facade off Realty Tower. Firefighters helped some people get out of the building, which houses a Chase Bank on the ground floor and has apartments and upper floors. Youngstown's fire chief said a man and a woman were missing following the blast. One is a Chase employee. The explosion collapsed the first floor into the basement. Building structural integrity is in question, so no firefighters were being allowed in to conduct a search. Nearly a third of the academic and graduate student workers of the University of California are on strike after the union of 48,000 employees escalated its labor standoff by walking off the job at UCLA and UC Davis. With as many as 2,000 UC Santa Cruz graduate students and academic workers picketing since last Monday, the job action brings 12,000 more out of classrooms and laboratories, potentially crippling the university's mission of educating the roughly 80,000 undergrads at the 3 campuses just 2 weeks before students begin to take their end of quarter finals. Workers, including teaching assistants, academic researchers, and graders, are striking, not over pay and benefits, but instead over the UC's response to pro-Palestinian protesters who were arrested by police or suspended from their campuses. Some union members were arrested or suspended for their role in the protests. Core to the union's demands is that the UC offer amnesty for those who experienced arrest or are facing university discipline. UC's Office of the President calls the strike illegal, saying that its contact with the union, itself the result of a 6-week-long strike in late of 2022, includes a no-strike provision. The union vehemently disagrees with that analysis, citing legal precedent that a union can strike over unfair labor practices and fall outside of the scope of a union contract. And Melinda French Gates says she'll be donating $1 billion over the next 2 years to individuals and organizations working on behalf of women and families globally, including on reproductive rights in the United States. It is the second billion-dollar commitment French Gates has personally made in the past 5 years. In 2019, she pledged over 10 years to expand women's power and influence. Earlier this month, French Gates announced she would step down from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and vowed to focus on women and families. As part of leaving the Gates Foundation, French Gates received $12 billion from Bill Gates for her philanthropy going forward. French Gates, one of the biggest philanthropic supporters of gender equity in the United States, said on Tuesday in a guest essay for the New York Times, she's been frustrated over the years by people who say it's not the right time to talk about gender equality. And the sole physical copy of Wu-Tang Clan's unreleased Once Upon a Time in Shaolin is headed to Australia's Museum of Old and New Arts. Only a handful of ears have listened to Wu-Tang Clan's 7th studio album to date, but next month, Lucky Mona visitors may be able to hear part of it too. In addition to putting the famed piece of music history on display, Mona said it would host private listening sessions featuring select tracks from the album between June 15th and June 24th. Tickets are set to be released Thursday. They're free, but there's only a small number available. Once Upon a Time in Shaolin has been called the world's rarest album. After spending 6 years creating the 31-track double album, the multi-platinum hip-hop group put the single copy up for auction in 2015 on the condition that it not be put to commercial use. Now, At the time, Wu-Tang Clan member RZA said he wanted the album packaged in a handcrafted silver and nickel case that includes a 174-page book wrapped in leather to be viewed as a piece of contemporary art. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray. Tell me you've got America's first name.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton, like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident in calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years, stuck in the cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. That's 800-878-6020.
Here we go.
800-878-0020.
Get ready, Adam. And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, May 29th. It is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Auburn. Currently 64 degrees right now. Looking for a high today of 84 degrees. All right, there's a sports ball music. Let's get right into it. Yeah, it's still basketball season. It's still happening. We are on the western side of the country. The finals, Timberwolves versus the Mavericks. This was game 4. Timberwolves on top there. Squeak out a win, 105-100. But Dallas leads that series 3-1. The winner of this one will go on to the NBA Finals here. And that'll wrap up the NBA season for right now. Heading over to the MLBs, looking out at green grass. A's versus the Tampa Bay Rays. A's win yesterday 3-0. A's are back on KAHI again today for an afternoon start time. The start time is going to be at 3:10 p.m. this afternoon. That's your radio start time, and the first pitch will be at 3:50 p.m. this afternoon. So A's versus the Rays, they are in away visiting Tampa Bay. Radio start time 3:10 p.m. That's the radio start time. First pitch is at 3:50. Dodgers versus the Mets. Dodgers on top there, 5-2. Anyway, let's talk about the Giants versus the Phillies. Giants win that one in extra innings. Giants win that one 1-0. Padres versus the Marlins. Padres on top there, 4-0. Mariners versus the Astros. Mariners take that one 4-2. Angels versus the Yankees. Angels on top there, 4-3. Heading over to the Auburn Journal, talking a little bit of sports here. I can grab it. Here we go. Talking about Titletown here. Talking about Placer High. Placer High School celebrated its Foothill Valley League and San Joaquin Section Championship. It won this year. The Hillmen and Hill Gals claimed 6 FVL titles and 2 section championships. Placer's league titles include girls cross country, football, girls volleyball, girls tennis, boys golf, boys tennis, and girls track and field. The Hillmen won the San Joaquin Section Championship in boys and girls tennis. Congratulations to you Hill Gals and Hill Guys, aka Hillmen, there we go, for your success this year. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
This is Stephen Hill. Catchments of Space. Sunday nights at 8. Here on the FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
The same voice of the foothills, more powerful than ever.
Good Wednesday morning. My forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies today. The main storm track staying to the north of us. And a high temperature with the sunshine today in the low 80s. A northwest wind about 10 miles per hour. Light winds tonight, mostly clear, 55 to 60. Dry, sunny, warm weather for Thursday and Friday. About 85
gonna be close.
Thursday and Friday with that spring sunshine in the forecast. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 at AM 950.
Do you suffer from stomach issues? Shop at Sunrise Natural Foods. This month, all New Chapter products are 30% off, including New Chapter Probiotics. Probiotics provide beneficial bacteria in your gut while eliminating harmful bacteria, which makes for healthy digestion, reducing symptoms like bloating and stomach discomfort. Visit Sunrise Natural Foods today in Auburn and Roseville or at sunrisenaturalfoods.net. Sunrise Natural Foods, made with life's best ingredients.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, gang. That is going to do it for me today. Until we see each other again tomorrow morning. Remember, as always, to be kind, be honest, be yourself, and remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. All right, that's how we do that.
Israeli shelling and airstrikes killed at least 37 people, most of them sheltering in tents outside of the southern Gaza city of Rafah overnight. The same area where strikes triggered a deadly fire days earlier in a camp for displaced Palestinians.
Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for being part of the fun. Thanks for being part of the party. Put on my DJ voice. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it.
And in a sign of Israel's growing isolation on the world stage, Spain, Norway, and Ireland on Tuesday. The U.S. built temporary pier has been taking humanitarian aid to starving Palestinians for less than 2 weeks will be removed from
Should get the Auburn Journal in here to do an article saying, hey, KAHI still does stuff in the mornings. You should check it out.
The fixes will take at least a week, and then the people need to be
really terrible at self-promotion, but I should learn to do that more.
Earlier today, a portion of the Trident Pier
Okay.
separated.
All right. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Into the coast of Gaza.
See you later. Bye.
As a result, the Trident Pier was damaged, and sections of the pier need rebuilding